Hello everyone, hi, this is Krina again. Hope you have a great day everyone. And welcome to episode number 32, right? Of the Krina Cox Show, yes. Okay, so Ripple is in the news, right? Ripple continue to be in the news with positive developments and great adoption and increased partnerships, right? First up is basically Ripple is basically receiving praise from American Express, and also they have also mentioned that American Express is going to partner with Ripple. This is a big news because American Express is a global company, right, in the payment space. So definitely Ripple is being being the endorsed, yeah, as really the platform, right, really linking up or benefiting all the financial institutions, right? So that's what they seem to be doing things. Their development seems to be really tracking to what they really want to do. Yeah, so Carlos Carriedo is the general manager of American multinational financial service organization Corporation MX, who has spoken on the ability of Ripple when speaking at a recent conference in Madrid, right? And basically, they're saying that we saw MX employees giving praise to Ripple for helping this financial service company to get to its objective in payment processing. Yeah, so basically they say, went on to say further that Ripple has a lot of potential and that he sees the future of payment processing as something that will be all done virtually. In order to make this happen, MS will join up with Ripple in order to cut down obstacles that affect the legacy payment systems. And that basically what happened is they're going to use the Ripple's X Current, which has been, is the platform behind Santander, who actually have successful pilot where they actually use them to transfer FX, global transaction. And so this is basically what was said. They basically want to have adoption on a worldwide scale. So basically they're partnering all these banks, and MX is the latest FI or financial institutions to come on board. Next up is also on Ripple, right? Basically, this one they are basically used as the platform to power South Korea's first blockchain-powered remittance service. They are running on the Ripple platform. Yeah, basically the Coin One Transfer is a subsidiary of Coin One. They're basically a remittance company targeting the migrant workers there. There are about 2 million migrant workers in South Korea, right, which is about 3.4% of the population. So definitely it will benefit migrant workers like this with their instant and direct cross-border payments, right, and very, very low fees. Yeah, that's so basically they say in the past, remittance options in South Korea were limited. For those sending smaller sums of money overseas, the cost of sending a payment was often too high to justify. Tracing payment history was extremely complex. Customers didn't know the exact date or time for the delivery of funds, nor were they able to cancel payment requests once it was in progress. Yeah, so definitely, now that Coin Transfer is using RippleNet, definitely, it's going to be very beneficial for the migrant workers in this country, and also for the business people in the country who wants to transfer funds globally as well. Yeah. Okay. Next up. All right. So this is on Venezuela, and this is on basically a charity. Yeah, is about doing good, right? Contributing to the people in need. So there's a campaign, right, that basically that wants to raise $1 million in cryptocurrencies for Venezuela who are in need, right? So this is launched by ATM. It's basically a digital wallet connected to banks and blockchains. They plan to raise $1 million in digital currency to 100,000 Venezuelans who have ID. Yeah, but donations can be made in quite about 10 coins: Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Zcash, Dash, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, and others. And what they can do is ATM, which is a wallet, will quickly convert this cryptocurrency to dollars for the Venezuelans to buy their daily essentials. Yeah. And this has actually launched on November 27. Close to $50,000 has already been raised at the time of this writing. $10 worth of donations can help a family purchase food, medicine, and scarce imported goods. So definitely, right, it's Yeah. And why is it very important? 61% of Venezuelans have had trouble putting food on the table in 2017. So Venezuela is really a country where cryptocurrencies is doing really well, right? And they have seen many merchants now in the country accepting Bitcoins. So in Venezuela, cryptocurrencies is really a very valid medium of exchange, right? Because their fiat money is literally losing value. It's basically worthless, yeah, because of the inflation, hyperinflation of 1000% this year. Yeah, so that's in this kind of situation. What does Venezuelans do? They have been either selling off their valuables to exchange for crypto, or they will sell their service. They will make items such as bags or handicrafts, to get crypto, to basically buy essentials. Yeah, and taking on leveraging this advantage, this opportunity. Bitcoin.com CEO Roger Ver has also mentioned that basically he wants people to donate in Bitcoin Cash, because he said he will match all the Bitcoin Cash donations for the next 24 hours, right? Basically he wants to increase his adoption of the Bitcoin Cash. Very smart. And again, on the adoption points, right, similar to Venezuela, Kenya is not seeing hyperinflation yet, but there are basically a lot of businesses are slowly increasing, acceptance of Bitcoin. Why is that? Is basically because um, there are people who are so in Kenya case, because they said there's so much theft in my business. So I decided, why don't I use the technology which is safe and secure? And I decided to accept Bitcoin Core as a mode of payment. Yeah, so it's a bit different reasons, all right. But another company, Boxlight Electronics, which they are the retailer of electronic gadgets, right, including white goods like TVs, home theaters. Now accepts Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Cash. What they do is that because of demand, right, we have received tons of requests from our customers to pay using digital currencies. As a company whose 90% of customers are young, tech savvy, and predominantly online, we choose to be all inclusive and adapt to the needs of those that prefer this type of currency. So across, similarly to the trend which we see in Japan and Korea, right, is basically the young people, just by natural demographics, who are driving this trend. They are really adept at, and they are very open, and they really like to use cryptocurrencies, right? So over time, if nothing happens, 10, 20 years down the road, these teenagers will become, will become the major income earners of the economy, and they will be the people who are really then very comfortable to use cryptocurrency. And that's why really it's a long-term trend. The it's very positive for cryptocurrencies. Yeah. Next up, so British MP Member of Parliament wants to allow paying taxes in cryptocurrency. This basically is because, must be because of Ohio, which started accepting cryptocurrency, right? And it basically says that you're either ahead of the curve or you're behind the curve. And our country is in an interesting position. Right now, we need to be seen as a progressive country. We're at a crossroads and we're about to determine our future. One in which taking the lead in this field could prove to be very beneficial, right? So this is basically what his quote in saying that the UK needs to follow the lead and devise a similar scheme, just like Ohio, to accept cryptocurrencies for paying taxes, right? And according to latest research, about 1/3 of Londoners are willing to invest in cryptocurrencies. That's pretty high, but nationwide is only 13%, right? So definitely people who are in the major city, which are more in the know, right? London is also closer to where the financial capital is. The people there are definitely more in the know, so they are, they are more willing to invest in this nascent asset class. Yeah. Trace Mayer and Max Kaiser has advocated new strategy to counter Bitcoin price manipulation. What this is basically Trace Mayer, right? He's actually urging Bitcoin holders to actually withdraw all their Bitcoin from any third-party wallet into their own possession, and to do this on the anniversary Bitcoin Genesis block, which is the first block that was being coded on the Bitcoin blockchain, and that is January 3rd next year, right? So basically in a tweet, he said, next start a new Bitcoin cultural tradition, an annual proof of keys celebration on Jan 3rd to declare monetary sovereignty by withdrawing all BTC held with trusted third parties to software. We control private keys and do network consensus. Now, the reason why he actually was do this is because he want to make sure that the exchanges, which is similar to, very similar to all these third party intermediaries already, they are becoming more and more, well, the community as a whole is becoming more and more reliant on these third party intermediaries, right? Like the crypto exchanges. So he really want to, and there's a suspicion, right? Basically, that he observed that the BTC trading on the exchange is much, much higher compared to the available circulating supply of Bitcoin, which means that, right? So he suspects basically they do fractional reserve, but that means they basically, trade. They basically behave as if they have the Bitcoin, but actually they don't, right? Yeah, because there's also no audit in this field, right? So basically he thinks that it's it's not what trustworthy, and basically to prove the trust, right? He urged everyone who has Bitcoin on these decentralized exchanges and centralized exchanges to actually pull it out and put it back into their own wallets that they can control the keys, right? And to see whether anyone has any problem, because ideally these exchanges, the centralized exchanges, shouldn't be doing these funny games, right, of saying for trading Bitcoins that they don't have. But then again, there's no audit going on in this space right now, right? Because it's still a very early stage innovation. So, but this is, I think, a very, very good suggestion, because after all, right, you really have to be very, you really need to control your own assets, right? And this is exactly, it's also a good test to really see, is it really decentralized, right? Because, I mean, ultimately the attractive feature of Bitcoins is because, right, it is, you don't have to trust anyone, right, to make sure that the Bitcoin has value. But now, if you leave it to the exchange, then you're relying on them. And when there is power concentrated in any one place, then there is a possibility for corruption as well. So I definitely agree, with Max Kaiser. And yes, I will also do the same. I will follow, I will basically be one of the supporters to basically follow what he says, right? To actually take out, though I don't have much, I have very only little in Binance Exchange, I'll take that out, for that period, just to really see, right? If enough people do that, then we will really, this is a very good audit that, by the power of the people. Yeah. Next, a bit of disappointing news, where we have the Chinese government coming out and point blank have actually lumped STOs, which is security token offerings, as ICOs, which is illegal in China, right? So, yeah, this was one of the hope that actually, STO could be more positive, could be seen more positive in China, but nope. China is very, very strict on basically all things crypto, but yet, right, that is on the surface, and basically we still have seen businesses, merchants in China accepting cryptocurrencies as legal tender, right, and even the a science publication related to the government-owned publication is accepting Bitcoin in their subscription fee. So yes, so meanwhile, but yeah, under radar, basically things are happening with crypto. So PayPal launches internet crypto incentive platform for employees. So PayPal is also joining the crypto bandwagon, but by defining their own, devising their own token, right? And basically what these tokens is they will reward their employees for coming up with innovations, ideas, right? And contributing ideas and participating in innovation related programs, right? what the tokens can do then is that then it can be exchanged for great experiences, right? Like, for example, poker tournaments with vice presidents, a true and coffee run with CFO, and even a martial arts session with CEO. So basically, this shows that PayPal is recognizing technology, but for now they just want to keep it in-house. Yeah, also, and I guess it can also engage the employees, right? Perhaps also not to lose any more employees to the crypto community, right? Yeah. Bitcoin nothing more than a lottery ticket, Harvard economist. Now, no more surprise, right? Continue as Bitcoin continues to like struggle, right, between 3,000 and 4,000 mark. We continue to hear bad news, right? People condemning, and basically declare, cryptocurrency and Bitcoin to be dead, right? So, former IMF chief economist and current Harvard University professor Kenneth Rogo believes that Bitcoin articles currently amount to little more than a lottery tickets, right? And where does he write it to? Guardian is basically targeting the masses, right? And he basically said that uh, some believe that cryptocurrencies have ended and are on a irreversible downward trend. It is actually difficult to say with certainty that their value will actually fall to zero. But and he went on to say that national level adoption of cryptocurrency will likely be pushed only by weak pariah states like Iran, Somalia, Venezuela, and North Korea. This is really so basically, a lot of negative connotation again to be linked with cryptocurrencies as if cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin is not, and the crypto whole market is not bad enough, at least as if the winter is not bad enough. There are people who come out in the news and to talk bad about crypto. It is really interesting, like what are these people's motive, right? Because I mean, if you are such a prominent person, right, and you should have many important engagements, that you have to take care of, right? But yet, you bother to go to a major news, right, like Guardian, and talk bad about something that you claim to not care about. This is very strange, right? Yeah, and you really need to question what are their motives. Yeah. That kind of interesting, right? In Forbes again, basically the main publication targeting the billionaires, you see a complete different tone, on cryptocurrencies, right? Here is more like saying, after like maybe I think 2 weeks ago, where there was an article saying, trading cryptocurrencies is the trade of the decade. Now, there's an article saying 8 tips every cryptocurrency investor should know or must know, right? So basically, it's like earlier on, it's like almost like saying, okay, it's time for you rich people to get into crypto. Now it's more like, okay, once now you are getting into crypto, don't panic, right? It's basically what this seems to be saying, and this is in the Forbes, right? So it's very interesting again. The different tones, just the different publication targeting different class of people. First, what are the tips that every investor should know on crypto? Ignore the noise. Yeah, expect the unexpected, right? So basically, avoid a bad trade or investment strategy. So basically, common mistake for beginner is joining what is known as pump and dump group. So because certain social media communities or gurus may even promise investment tips regarding particular coin, you should avoid these type of places at all costs, right? So really just go with the top coins, right? That's what, and of course, perform your own due diligence, right? Don't just listen to people, and just you really need to read the white papers and just to read more around the forums, right? Reddit, on what people are saying, right? What are they actually doing? And of course, don't place all your crypto coins in one basket, right? Open an alternative personal email. Understand the uses for both cold and hot wallets so that you can really safeguard. Remain careful around mobile wallets, right? Yeah, it's very interesting. And Coinbase wants to trademark crypto jargon. Now, again, this to me, right, is basically around the point where and they don't have to go into the news, right? Basically, they want to trademark the term BU build, but instead of LD, they revert it to DL, right? So this is the term they want to uh, trademark, right? And basically, it seems that, that means the industry is probably going to more mature state, right? Because then you have companies filing patents and, want to trademark jargons. And this is actually where the next phase is probably going to go. Because now in these industries, a lot of the terms and jargons are still not standardized. That, once adoption is increasing more and more, then they should be a movement, right, to standardize more of the terms and all these terms and words that people use in cryptocurrencies, because and also then the education will become more standardized and more mainstream, um, more streamlined, for people, so it's easier, right? So that everyone speaks the same lingo. Now is like it's still very much very fragmented, right? Because some people use cryptocurrency, some people use crypto assets, right? What is the right term actually? So yes, so it's a good thing. It's a step in the right direction, definitely. But that's probably where the next step will go. As Bitcoin trading shifts shape, big money stays away. Now the title is like that, but then actually when we read down, it's interesting. Basically, right, the volume is really shifting from places like Coinbase, to Bitfinex. Bitfinex is really more the um, exchange that are more favored by bigger investors, more sophisticated investors. So here I want to point you, as retail punters fade away, volumes have soared at exchanges such as Bitfinex that are favored by bigger investors, right? There's now the growing activity by a mixture of cryptocurrency miners and startup with big holdings, plus prop traders, hedge funds, and wealthy individuals and families. Bitfinex trading volumes climbed 38% in November, which the firm attributes to traditional investors with roots in high frequency trading opening accounts since March, right? So what does this mean? I would say that basically, yes, Coinbase, Binance, and all the retail crypto exchanges are losing customers, but Bitfinex is basically seeing a trading volume increases, right? And these are really the big guys, the institutional players and those people really richer. Basically, they're the rich, right? And the thing is this again, title is so misleading, big money stays away, but it's actually not so true when you look at Bitfinex, right? So yes, so this is the similar theme across, right? Basically, you need to really read everything, right? Don't just look at headlines, and you really need to see, right, the contrast between what news are appearing in Guardian newspaper versus in Forbes, right? That's really just my main takeaway. So lastly, so I think that's it for today. Hope you have a great day, and live with passion, live with high energy, and thank you so much for watching. And if I guess the other thing is, if I can request you to actually post down comments on what you would like to watch, right? How would I help you? Basically, then I will basically give me more direction on what it will be best beneficial to you. Thank you so much, and live with high energy, high passion. Thank you. Bye.